Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm your host, Mega 31. Super quick speculation video for Truck Series. It's gonna be a nice race. Not really a huge fan of road courses, and Truck Series doesn't run much on road courses. They ran Lime Rock this year. Coda was the only one they ran last year. I think they only ran two in 2023. So you don't see them out there that much, but most of them have been pretty proficient either through ARCA or what they've run. So as you look at the field there, like the baby blues are ones that are better than average, not like elite, and then the brown ones are ones that are more like ringers or like specialists or things like that. The ones in white are just below average, or this is kind of a race where they just kind of want to go out there and survive in advance to next week. If we look at the start column two, we are two races away from the playoffs. So time, Chandler Smith, Daniel Humrick, Lane Riggs, Tyler Ankrum, Roger Ruth, and Stuart Friesen, who got very badly injured in a dirt track race. Um, so Bell's in his truck. We'll have to see how that plays out if he can get back to the playoffs, but he's locked into the position. So right now there's still three open positions, and right now it's Majeski, Honeycutt, and Enfinger who are occupying those spots. They're up by like 61 points. So I don't know if Friesen can't make if that opens up another spot. But if there's a new winner, then that knocks we're down to two spots. So the ones in red really need to win to get in. I mean, there's other ones out there like Sutton, Woods, Mills, Brenninger, Munoz, and Boyd that could win and get in, but I think the likelihood of them winning this race or in the next two races is very, very, very slim. So I just kind of narrowed it down to that for talk about incentive. Only 72 laps here. The field is absolutely loaded with cup drivers. There's a lot of really, really good. It should be very interesting. So I looked at my model and I'd like kind of like where it's at, but we'll have to see like practice and qualifying. So my strategy for road courses this year mostly has been finishing position, take place differential where you can find it. Because there's and this is a more skilled road course. I always considered like Watkins Glen and Sonoma like the two like key ones because those are the ones that Cup Series ran the most often back in the day. Like you didn't hear about Coda and like Rovals and like all these other ones that they've had and that they run. And Watkins Glen was the closest track to my home when I was growing up as a kid in Syracuse. And when I was in Williamsport, the haulers used to come down after the race, and everybody used to crowd 180, which is the highway there, and be out there to cheer, boo as the trucks drove by, even though the drivers weren't in them because they were flying off to the next race wherever. And those were the cars when they had two separate types of cars were going back to Charlotte to the shop. And now, being in northeastern Pennsylvania, it's still pretty close. I've got Pocono also. Um, so anyways, let's just get into the breakdown here. Time, I think definitely he's won the last two ones and definitely in a good position to do well here. We'll see where he qualifies. I think he's probably one that you want to try to get into your lineup. Also, Zilich. Zilich finished fourth at Coda last year. He's had very limited experience, a very young driver. He's in a nice truck here. I wish he had better equipment, but we see him get a lot out of less. So he's run here in Arca. He knows the course, and I think it could be where Zilich and Van Ginsberger were battling back and forth in one and two in the Xfinity Series recently. At was it Sonoma or I forget which road course it was. I think could be something very similar here between these two. And if they start one and two, I think those two like ended up being optimal in that race. So I wouldn't keep that out of the question. I know you're always looking for place differential, and it's dangerous to play people that are starting this close. And I don't think you should play like the whole top 10. I think you do need to look for some place differential, and there's no dominator points here. Like I said, 72 laps doesn't amount to beans for fast laps or for if somebody leads all of them, yes, of course, that does add up there. But if it's like spread out between two or three drivers, it's not going to be as much as it was like last week, where you had like 400 laps, I believe, at a short track, and you need to get those points for you. So really like these two drivers, and Zilich has nothing to go for but the win. Heim too, he's playing with house money. He's definitely got the points lead here, and probably will have the title wrapped up. for a single season, but he's looking for a championship. Chandler Smith having starting pretty good up here. He's locked into the playoffs. Also, solid season. Six at Lime Rock. He's in Xfinity last year, so um, didn't race, but I think that he's another one that could be considered. The Purple Doms, I look for more like chance to win the race. So then I think your like second category here is going to be like Chastain and Bush, who are both like not racing for anything. They can short pit, which means they pit before the end of the stage, and they're able to get track position and hold it. Where if Heim or Smith are trying to go for stage points, that puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage, but I don't think it really matters because I think they'll be all going for the win because I think they have enough to be fine for the playoffs. Smith is a little bit of a different case. I like the savings that you get from Smith, so that might incentivize me to play him over like a Chestnut Bush, even though that he might stay out for stage points. But I still think like the top five would be fine. Majeski really needs the win here, and 92 he finished second at Lime Rock, third at Coda, so he's one that I think people might overlook ownership wise because they're going to look at the Kyle Bushes, the Chastains, the Zillish, the same thing where they can short pit, they can get track position, they don't have to stay out for stage points. Majeski needs everything he possibly can because he is one of the three drivers that's above the cut line, but if somebody wins that is not um, a top driver, a fill-in driver, but somebody wins like one of the red ones, like a Ben Rose or Jake Garcia or Connor Mozak or the Perez de Lara or Tanner Gray, even Matt Crafton. If one of those win, they're going to take a spot. So I think Miss Majeski has a lot of incentive. He's run really well at road courses. I think he'll have a solid day. Christopher Bell, it's good at road courses, but I have him as a cash, but I'm thinking almost GPP. And I know my model has a finishing 22nd, but that's based on his truck. Like Stuart Friesen's truck, and Stuart Friesen has only been a 20th place driver on the road courses recently. So I don't know. Would Bell in this equipment, is he going to the cream going to rise, and is he going to be competitive with like a Bush or Chastain? Which Bush, I think, in the Spire truck is the best case scenario. Then these trucks are okay, but they're a step below Spire and Tricon and McNally, Higgleman. I think are definitely much in front row. Has always been strong. So I think they're like kind of a tier below in these niche trucks. And where is the Friesen Racing going to fall? I don't know. It's such a wild card. I left him as cash, but it might turn to GPV when I have this finally out here. Ben Rhodes needs to win this race, fourth and seventh. I think he's a strong upside play. If he starts deeper in the field, I think you just the way he's finished at road courses recently could potentially be a prime play. Honeycutt got kicked out of his ride, and he has because he's moving to Toyota next year. But he was picked up this race by Nice to drive the O2, and he's ninth in the championship. So I mean, he has a chance to be out there to race for a title. But he signed with Toyota, so he mutually parted ways with. That's why Zolich is in the 45. But it's the O2 and Nice truck. It doesn't matter. I can look up now. He's definitely in the O2. I probably just didn't get a chance to change that for when I was looking at the builds for, let's see, Watkins Glen truck race entry list. The O2 is a Young Motorsports, so I will change that. I apologize. I'm just trying to get this content out as fast as I can. But I do want to be accurate, so let's Young. We'll just put Young Moto for right now. So he's in a he he started pretty good in at Lime Rock. He finished 12th, so I just have to keep an eye on him. He's run decent on the road courses and the small sample size he has, and he's one that also, like Majeski, needs to get points. So that could be a little bit detrimental and might make him more of a GPP play. Hemrick's been solid dropping down on road courses. Like it's kind of average in Xfinity, but in this truck series and this team has been solid. So ninth at Lime Rock and past history has done well too. So someone to also keep in mind. Busher, I don't know how to take this. Thorsport's a good truck. He's a good road course driver, but just looking at some of the advanced numbers, it has him like a top 15 driver, but not top 10. Kind of a dark horse here, but I don't think I want to play 10-3 when I really want to try. If I'm paying this much money, I really want to get up to like Zilliger time. Like might sprinkle him into GPPs, but I think that's where he's going to end up. Lane Riggs qualifies good on road courses, but does not like Lime Rock is better. But if you look at some of the other ones like Coda and some other similar tracks, he just doesn't. He's like probably a 15 to 20th place driver. I can't give him the proficiency on here, so GPP for me at 9,500. Rather spend 500 less for like a Chandler Smith or a Time at Jeske who's desperate for a win here over Riggs who's in the playoffs. I know he won last week, good form and everything, but I just don't know if it's going to translate here. Giovanni, he needs to win to get in. I think he's right on the cash line here, third at Lime Rock. Pretty solid day there. My model has him 15th, kind of finishing where he started, right at that 4X. So we'll have to see how he does there. Jake Garcia is not a great road course driver. He did get a 14th at Coda, but I think he's like model has him more like a 20th. So I'll have to see where he starts, how he looks at speed he has in practice and fall off, and how he stays on the course during practice. So I think he could be a sneaky 20K driver because I think he's got the upside, but I don't know if he has the floor. Anything I really like here also is the third one out of the ones that really need a win, and or I don't think he's going to point his way in. I don't think he's going to qualify to be close enough, and he has 11th and 12th, so he kind of averages 10th. But if you take out all the people that ran Coda last year and some of the people who ran Lime Rock this year that aren't in the field. Now I know we threw in like Zilich and Kyle Busch, but I do think that he's got a top 10 truck here. So I think right now at 7,400, like him, it's prime. He could drop off again because I kind of concerned if he's starting up in the top 10, he's going to go for stage points over the win, and that's not going to be helpful here. I was going to help with finishing position, but it's not going to help as much with upside. So let's see how that plays out because if he does stay out for stage points, it could put him pretty far behind in stage three, and he might not be able to make up the track position. Taylor Ankrum, GPP here. He's okay on road courses, like a 10th at Lime Rock, 25th at Coda, 19th overall. Nothing spectacular. He's solidly in the playoffs. So kind of a GPP, kind of price in no man's land. Sammy Smith drops down also to top in this Tricon Garage truck. He should also have a good day, but again, he's priced down. It has him like my model has him like 26. Like nothing really like pops with him other than the price and the experience that he's better than a lot of the drivers here. And he is proficient on road courses, but I think there's better options. But he might be one that's like last man in. You'd have to be going with a balanced build to get to him. So we'll just have to see with that. Caruth, I think's okay play also. Averages like 18th here on the road course. So if he starts outside the top 20 and can get a little bit of place differential, that's fine. But if he starts up in the top 10, unless he's like one of the fastest trucks in practice, I'm probably not interested. Mozak, I am. He's another one that really needs to win. He has had a good pedigree of road courses. Um, he's run between Xfinity and Truck Series here over the last couple of years. 16th at Lime Rock. I think he's got some potential, so we'll keep my eye on him. I think he's solid cash play at 72. Prez de Lara, he runs so much road courses throughout his young career. He was Mexican driver, 19th, got lots of experience. He's been driving go karts and all kinds of things since he was 14 years old. and did well in ARCA also. So 5,900. I like him on road courses. He usually doesn't qualify well. He usually does finishing okay in the top 20. So at 5,900, I feel he's going to end up being a prime play, but we'll have to see tomorrow after the qualifying. Brent Cruz had a very solid run at Lime Rock, ended up finishing eighth. Uh, my model has him repeating that, and he doesn't always qualify well, but he's a good driver with some upside. I don't like the fact that he's in his own racing team here. That becomes hard when you're trying to focus on publicity and all the things you need to do to manage and run the team, unless it's like his father is running it. I just asked Jordan Anderson how hard that is, or some of the other ones that are trying to do it. BJ McLeod. It's just hard to race for your own team, but we'll see how that plays out. But the projection looks pretty nice for him. Tanner Gray is a solid play here. Also, top 15 truck, had top 10 at Coda last year, and needs a win to get in the playoffs. I think that if Renfinger falls out of prime play, I think Tanner Gray might take that over. Crafton's a GPP here. He's okay on road courses, but nothing spectacular. He's probably going to start too far forward, so I'm not really going to look to play him. Swalich drops down here. I drive the number one Tricon garage truck. It's okay on road courses. I think he's got some upside at 6,600, so he's probably going to be in my 20K lineup. Sutton Woods and Mills are all priced within $100 of each other. They're all looking for to get into the championship. Wood has over um, delivered on road courses, 22nd and 13th finish, but Sutton and the Rack League truck and Matt Mills has never been like a really good road course driver. So out of the three of them, if you have to pick one, I would take Woods. Wesley Slimp had a lot greater hopes for him, but he looked terrible at Lime Rock. He's in a Hallman Friesen truck, and without Stuart Friesen in the equation, I'm sure there's other people that run it, but sometimes when a key member like that is missing, the results suffer. I'm just kind of hoping that they can still do good, and maybe they rally around, trying to put together good races. This is the first time the Truck Series that's back since the accident, and want a good showing. But I think you're going to put more behind Christopher Bell than you are Wesley Slimp here. So GPP for me, unless he looks really sharp in practice. Parker Klingerman, GPP. He does have the blue tag on here, but if you look back, he has like struggled his last couple of road courses, especially in a truck series. So, and but that's another thing because Henderson, the owner of this team, passed away recently also. So there's that narrative for them to do good here. It's a kind of a memorial race. Rangers, been okay recently, doing better. Catherine Leggy is actually um, probably the best woman currently in the NASCAR series in the three between trucks, Cup, and Xfinity. I mean, she was really struggling, and she has really started to put things together. Brenninger has been up and down this season. Like again, like Haley Deegan's out of the picture now. She's in Indy, I think, still. Just really, I thought Tony had a better grasp on things from her ARCA career and with the Toyota development, and I think that should go far. But I just really haven't seen much progress, but I haven't seen a ton of regression either. I don't feel like she's a human caution flag. So I looking forward to seeing what happens next year. So when seeing like all these tracks and putting together notes and maybe coming out and having a stronger sophomore year. But we'll see from there. But as for this race, I'm not super interested. Only a punt play if I need it. I'd rather go Gian Bofamonte here. Notes on him: 17, grew up driving go-karts. He's been top five in Trans Am at Watkins Glen, so he's raced here in other areas, and he's won sprint car championships on the road the last couple of seasons. So very, very young driver, but seems to be very good. I think it's a great dark horse here that people aren't really going to know who it is. So we'll look forward to that. William Lambros, another young road course ringer that doesn't seem to have as much upside. That's why he's priced where he is. Seems like Ream has 30 trucks in this race, but not interested there unless that something sparks in practice. Frankie Muniz has been better than I thought on road courses, but he's just not there yet. He would need like a Hail Mary to win this race to get into the playoffs or next week. But I think overall he hasn't had a bad rookie season in truck. Better than I expected. I think he's actually a legitimate driver and not just a celebrity with money that's trying to pretend to be a driver. So hopefully, same thing with Badger. Maybe they'll grow a little bit and next year become a little bit more competitive. And I don't think they're challenge win races, but I want to see consistency. That's really what I'm looking for them. Jimmy Hill, love him down here, 500. 5,000, 25th and 17th at Coda. Got some upside here. He just goes out and does his thing, stays on the track, watches other people make mistakes and just drives around them and stays keep on moving forward, chipping away at things as long as the truck doesn't break down. It's been pretty solid this year. I think that he's a very solid play and really think that he's going to be a great value at for a prime play at 5K. Spencer Boyd, not super interested, although a little bit of place differential here potentially because if he starts dead last or so, you could probably move up spots because he's usually around 30th. And then Derek White in the MBM truck. MBM like has terrible equipment. I don't know if he'll even make it. It's hard to go down laps on a road course, but I think Derek White could potentially end up doing that. Not a not a great situation and gonna be a fade for me. So I got for you. If you have any questions, put them in chat below. Hit me up Megaro31 on Twitter/X. If you go into the description of the video, then you can have the link to the website. You can get into our Discord. There's a free room in there called NASCAR Pool. So when I do these speculation videos, then I will go in there after I've taken care of all the people that pay for the content, which is again, it's only $5 for the weekend and $6 to play all the sports for a whole day. So pretty good value for you there. Then for free, I'll give you like the updated primes and answer some questions if I have time after I've taken care of the paying customers. So, and I appreciate you watching. If these videos help us back, like, subscribe, share, and share with friends. I will try to get an Xfinity video out. I have to move my daughter to grad school tomorrow, so um, I will be struggling to get back and try to get the content. But tomorrow night, if I do have some time, I will try to. I started looking at Xfinity. It doesn't look as loaded as this field, but it still looks like it could be a good race. And we'll definitely have the Cup video for you Saturday night for Sunday morning. So thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing weekend. You know how to get a hold of me if you have questions, and I'll see you next time.